Welcome to Figures in History. Join us on a captivating journey through time as we uncover key facts about influential individuals who have shaped our world. In this episode, we will be discussing Napoleon Bonaparte. 1. Napoleon's early life and education. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on the island of Corsica on August 15, 1769, to a family of Italian origin. His father, Carlo Maria Bonaparte, was a lawyer and a supporter of Corsican independence, while his mother, Maria Letizia Ramolino, was known for her strict discipline. Napoleon's early education was heavily influenced by his mother, who instilled in him a sense of duty and ambition. At the age of 9, Napoleon moved to mainland France to attend a religious school in Autun to improve his French, as his native language was the Corsican dialect of Italian. He later transferred to the military academy at Brienne-le-Château, where he was often bullied for his accent and short stature. Despite these challenges, Napoleon excelled in mathematics and military strategy, which laid the foundation for his future military career. His early experiences of being an outsider and his rigorous education played a crucial role in shaping his character and ambitions. 2. Rise to power during the French Revolution. Napoleon's rise to prominence began during the French Revolution. In 1793, he played a key role in the siege of Toulon, where he demonstrated his military prowess by capturing a strategic hill fort, leading to the city's fall. This victory earned him a promotion to brigadier general. In 1795, he further solidified his reputation by quelling a royalist uprising in Paris on 13 Vendémiaire, using artillery to disperse the insurgents. His success in these early campaigns caught the attention of the French government, and in 1796, he was given command of the Army of Italy. Napoleon's Italian campaign was marked by a series of decisive victories against the Austrians and their allies, which not only expanded French territory but also made him a national hero. His ability to inspire his troops and his innovative tactics set him apart from other military leaders of his time. By 1799, Napoleon had amassed enough power and influence to stage a coup d'état, known as the Coup of 18 Brumaire, which led to his appointment as first consul of the French Republic. 3. The Egyptian expedition and its impact. In 1798, Napoleon embarked on an ambitious expedition to Egypt, aiming to undermine British trade routes to India and establish a French presence in the Middle East. The campaign began with the capture of Malta and a successful landing in Alexandria. Napoleon's forces won the Battle of the Pyramids, securing control over Egypt. However, the campaign faced significant challenges, including the destruction of the French fleet by the British at the Battle of the Nile, which stranded Napoleon's army in Egypt. Despite these setbacks, the expedition had a lasting impact. Napoleon brought with him a team of scientists and scholars who made significant contributions to the study of ancient Egyptian civilization, including the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. The campaign also served as a springboard for Napoleon's political ambitions, as he returned to France in 1799 to seize power. Although the Egyptian expedition did not achieve its primary military objectives, it showcased Napoleon's strategic vision and his ability to adapt to changing circumstances. 4. The Napoleonic Code and legal reforms. One of Napoleon's most enduring legacies is the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of civil laws that reformed the French legal system. Implemented in 1804, the code was designed to replace the patchwork of feudal laws and customs that had existed in France. It established principles such as equality before the law, the protection of property rights, and the secular nature of the state. The Napoleonic Code also introduced reforms in family law, inheritance, and contracts, providing a clear and accessible legal framework for French citizens. While the code was progressive in many respects, it also reinforced traditional gender roles, limiting the rights of women and children. The Napoleonic Code had a profound influence beyond France, as it was adopted in various forms by many countries in Europe and around the world. It remains a foundational document in modern legal systems, reflecting Napoleon's vision of a rational and orderly society governed by clear and consistent laws. 5. Military innovations and tactics. Napoleon is widely regarded as one of the greatest military commanders in history, known for his innovative tactics and strategic brilliance. He revolutionized military organization by creating the corps system, which allowed for greater flexibility and mobility on the battlefield. Each corps was a self-contained unit with its own infantry, cavalry, and artillery, capable of operating independently or in coordination with other corps. Napoleon's emphasis on speed and surprise enabled him to outmaneuver larger enemy forces and achieve decisive victories. His use of artillery as a central element of his tactics, rather than merely a support arm, was another key innovation. Napoleon's ability to inspire and motivate his troops was legendary, and he often led from the front, sharing in the hardships of his soldiers. His campaigns, such as the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805 and the Battle of Jena Auerstedt in 1806, demonstrated his mastery of battlefield tactics and his capacity to adapt to changing circumstances. Napoleon's military innovations had a lasting impact on warfare and are still studied in military academies around the world. 6. The Continental System and Economic Warfare. In his quest to weaken Britain, Napoleon implemented the Continental System, an economic blockade aimed at isolating Britain from continental Europe. Introduced in 1806, the system prohibited European nations from trading with Britain, intending to cripple the British economy by cutting off its markets. Napoleon enforced the blockade through a series of decrees and sought to compel neutral countries to comply. However, the continental system faced significant challenges. Smuggling and black market trade flourished, and many European countries, including France's allies, found it difficult to enforce the blockade without harming their own economies. The system also strained relations with neutral nations, particularly the United States, leading to diplomatic tensions. Despite its limited success in achieving its primary objective, the continental system had far-reaching consequences. It disrupted European trade patterns, contributed to economic hardship in many regions, and fueled resentment against Napoleon's rule. The failure of the continental system highlighted the limitations of economic warfare and the interconnectedness of global trade. 7. The invasion of Russia and its aftermath. In 1812, Napoleon launched one of his most ambitious and ultimately disastrous campaigns, the invasion of Russia. With a multinational Grande Army of around 450,000 troops, Napoleon aimed to force Tsar Alexander I to comply with the continental system and secure French dominance in Europe. The campaign began with initial successes, including the capture of Smolensk, but the Russian strategy of scorched earth and strategic retreats deprived the French of supplies and weakened their forces. The pivotal Battle of Borodino in September 1812 resulted in heavy casualties on both sides, but the Russians withdrew, allowing Napoleon to occupy Moscow. However, the city's abandonment and subsequent burning left the French without adequate shelter and provisions. As winter set in, Napoleon's army faced brutal conditions, including extreme cold, disease, and constant harassment by Russian forces. The retreat from Moscow turned into a catastrophic rout, with only a fraction of the Grande Armée surviving. The invasion of Russia marked a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes, leading to the formation of the Sixth Coalition and his eventual defeat. 8. Exile to Elba and the 100 Days. Following his abdication in April 1814, Napoleon was exiled to the Mediterranean island of Elba, where he was made sovereign. Despite his limited resources, Napoleon implemented administrative reforms and improvements on the island. However, he soon grew restless and aware of the unpopularity of the restored Bourbon monarchy in France. On February 26, 1815, Napoleon escaped from Elba with a small force and landed on the French mainland on March 1. His return, known as the 100 Days, saw him march towards Paris, gathering support from the military and the populace. King Louis XVIII fled, and Napoleon reclaimed the throne on March 20. He quickly sought to consolidate his power and prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the European powers. The 100 Days culminated in the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815, where Napoleon's forces were decisively defeated by the combined British and Prussian armies. Following his defeat, Napoleon abdicated again and was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he spent the remaining years of his life. 9. Exile on St. Helena and death. After his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, where he arrived in October 1815. The British government took extensive measures to prevent any escape, stationing a garrison of 2,100 soldiers and a squadron of ships to patrol the waters. Napoleon lived in relative isolation at Longwood House, a damp and windswept residence that contributed to his declining health. Despite the harsh conditions, he maintained a semblance of imperial court life, receiving visitors, dictating his memoirs, and engaging in intellectual pursuits. Napoleon's health continued to deteriorate, and he was diagnosed with chronic hepatitis. In his final years, he became increasingly depressed and isolated. On May 5, 1821, Napoleon died at the age of 51, with his last words reportedly being, "France, the army, head of the army, Josephine." An autopsy concluded that he died of stomach cancer, although theories of arsenic poisoning have also been suggested. Napoleon's remains were later returned to France in 1840 and entombed at Les Invalides in Paris. 10. Napoleon's legacy and influence. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is complex and multifaceted, encompassing his military genius, administrative reforms, and controversial policies. He is widely regarded as one of history's greatest military commanders, with his campaigns and tactics studied in military academies worldwide. Napoleon's legal reforms, particularly the Napoleonic Code, had a lasting impact on legal systems in Europe and beyond, promoting principles of equality before the law and the protection of property rights. His administrative reforms centralized state power and modernized the French government, laying the groundwork for the modern state. However, Napoleon's legacy is also marked by his role in the Napoleonic Wars, which caused widespread devastation and loss of life across Europe. His authoritarian rule, censorship, and repressive policies have drawn criticism, as have his actions in reinstating slavery in French colonies and his mixed record on civil rights. Despite these controversies, Napoleon's influence on European history and his enduring legacy as a transformative figure continue to be subjects of fascination and debate. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through this figure's fascinating life. If you're passionate about history, don't forget to subscribe to Figures in History for more captivating stories of influential figures from the past. Leave a comment below and let us know which historical figure you'd like to see in future episodes. Your suggestions matter, and together, we can continue exploring the amazing figures that shaped our world. Keep exploring, learning, and shaping a brighter future through understanding the past.